Hello, everybody. My name is Eryk Anders, also known as the MMA Viking on Instagram, and today we are joined by UFC middleweight Eryk Anders. How you doing today, my man?
Hey, I'm doing awesome. And you?
Doing great. Before we hop into these MMA questions, I got to ask, obviously, being that you're an Alabama football alum, did you get a chance to watch the playoffs this year? And if you did, how do you think they did, regardless of the outcome?
Yeah, I think you know, I, I think they did well. Obviously they lost the big one, but Kirby Smart was my defensive coordinator when I played at Bama. So if Bama was going to lose to anybody, it's that's the guy you want to lose to. But Bama fans, they've been so spoiled with so many championships over the years that they consider the season above if they don't win the championship, and I don't think they realize how hard those things are to come by. So, kudos to Georgia, especially since Bama beat Georgia the first time, and they were able to come back and a pretty dominant win over Alabama. It says a lot about that team, that coaching staff, and everybody involved with the football team.
And I have to imagine, honestly, that you are an alum of that team. It's kind of a proud moment to watch them have so much continued success over the years and know that you were a part of that at one point.
Yeah, we were kind of like the catalyst that started it all. We were the first championship team in recent history. I think like the last time they had won was like 17 years before that. So, to kind of be on that team, to kind of start the trend in the wave of not only winning championship, but, turning Alabama to the NFL pipeline that it is, just, pretty awesome.
Yeah, I can imagine. Switching it to some more MMA type questions. Obviously, I know in recent you've got that stem cell treatment for your neck, if I'm not mistaken. What was that?
Yeah.
What was the injury that was bothering you that got you to get that treatment done?
I had some like bowling disc and some disc issues, and that was like the main one, and had trouble turning my neck. And, obviously, if you're fighting, you need all the neck flexibility you can get to absorb shots and the rest and stuff. And it was just kind of hindering my training and not allowing me to like maximize training. And then you go to a phase, I don't want to do this, it's hurt my neck or whatever. So going in there, getting that fixed, and having I don't know, fully functioning is the word, but a neck that's you can kind of abuse again a little bit, if that makes sense, because whenever you shoot in on a double, or especially like for me, whenever I was wrestling, dude, it was killing me. So now that all that's gone, I'll be able to do all of MMA again, and not just the striking aspect.
Yeah. So, I mean, how long has this neck injury bothered you?
Man, for a minute, for a long time, but it was just getting to the point where it's not that it's like unbearable or anything like that. It was just like too constant and continuous. It was getting to the point where even every time I looked on my back, my hands would be numb, kind of thing. But ever since then, I guess it's been close to a month now. My arms don't get numb. I got full motion and flexibility in my neck. And I haven't really like wrestled or anything. I sparred for the first time yesterday and felt good. So, just going to ease my way back into training and hopefully fight here soon.
That's awesome. So you kind of talking about you're getting back into it. Was there a timetable necessarily for you to kind of recover from this, or is it more so, quicker recovery?
Man, they said 6 weeks, but I don't ever listen to the doctor. I kind of just go off how I feel, and it doesn't hurt so much anymore, so I can go a little bit harder. Okay, it doesn't hurt. It hurts even less, so I can go a little bit harder. Okay, it doesn't hurt at all anymore, so I can go back to full training.
Was this something that maybe was affecting you for that Muniz fight, or did it maybe come about in that fight, or how'd that kind of?
Nah, man. I don't think my neck had anything to do with the outcome of that fight. I think that Muniz went in there, did his thing, got the submission in his hand raised, and there's no like I don't have an excuse or whatever. He just went in there and did what he had to do better than I could do what I wanted to do. So, it is what it is.
Yeah, like you said, like, obviously, you didn't get your hand raised, but is there anything you can kind of take away from that fight and know, like, this is what I got to do to take that next step, or is there any pauses you can take out of like an outcome like that?
I think that I've been like neglecting like jujitsu, in my training, just more of like get up from the bottom, um, and wrestling to hold him down, to keep him down. So, jiu-jitsu used to kind of be like not necessarily my bread and butter, but something that I was much more efficient at than I have been in recent fights. So, probably need to get back into that, and not just train like pure jiu-jitsu. That's what he did. He shot a double leg and took my back and armbarred me. He didn't. He really didn't do MMA. It was just jiu-jitsu, and he's very good at jiu-jitsu. So
Yeah.
Obviously there's levels to this. There's black belts, and then there's black belts. He's I'm sure, he's had 4 fights, 3 submissions, broke Jacare's arm, which is a very accomplished grappler. So, yeah. And I don't think that he did anything that I didn't prepare for. It was just he executed and I didn't. Is what it boils down to.
Mm-hmm. So kind of moving towards, you said you need to train jujitsu a little more. You're moving down to like fight ready MMA in the past year and a half. How has that kind of helped with your progression, and how's the training been? Was it like a step up in level?
Yeah, it's man, you can like open up your Instagram and see all the guys that are coming and going from there and in and out, and just the high level guys. Figueroa was there, Wei Lee was there, Yuri, Francesca or whatever his name is down there now getting ready to fight Glover. Marco Madsen, 5-time Olympian or 4-time Olympian, whatever he is down there getting ready for a fight. So, there's always Kelvin Gastelum is down there. There's always high level guys down there training. So, John Jones is there. So, it's hard not to get better in the room with guys like that.
And I saw you post that you got the chance to train with a guy like John Jones. Like, what's that experience like for you? Kind of get to pick his brain a little bit.
Man, for me, it's not really necessarily like technique, because he's got a different style than me. He's got a different frame than me, attributes, all these things. So what works for John Jones may not necessarily work for me. But one thing that I think is very underrated in MMA is people's mental, where they put their mental focus. And so, that's really what I talked to him about, because what is it that makes you able to perform at a high level like that, fight in and fight out, like the will to win, that he showed against Alexander Gustafsson, or having trouble with those European names today, but in that first fight that they had, he found a way to win, and his mental approach to getting prepared for a fight, going into the fight, when he's in the locker room warming up, walking out to the cage when he's in the fight. These are the things that, I want to know, because I think that's really what separates the goods from the greats, because at the end of the day, at the top, they all have attributes. They're all big, strong, fast, have good technique and all these other things. So what is it that, separates, the champions from the number one contender? And, I have to believe that it's, the mental aspect of the game.
Okay. So obviously, getting back to training, when getting to train with these top level guys, what are your plans for 2022? Where do you want to see fights taking place? Is it middleweight, light heavyweight? I know you fought there once. What's the plan for you to get back on track?
Yeah, I'm a middleweight. Yeah, I'd like to fight 3 times this year. I'm a middleweight. 3 middleweight fights is good. But whenever that phone rings, I always answer. So even if they want me to take a short notice, light heavyweight fight, then if it's intriguing, then yeah, sure, why not?
Is there maybe one certain goal that you have that you want to achieve by the end of the year?
Um, Really just to fight 3 times. You know, get 3 W's as well. So it's not just about fighting. You know, I gotta go out there and win as well. So
Mhm.
go out there and execute the game plan. Go out there and get three dubs this year.
That's awesome. Then kind of switching the pace of this, I know I saw on your Instagram that your wife Yasmin has been collecting her gold in the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu world. I mean, how proud is that? How proud are you of her to see that happen? Kind of be her fan.
Yeah, she's a workhorse. It's not like she just shows up and wins. She started training and, pretty much within a year of training, won all the tournaments that you can win as a white belt. So, that was pretty cool to see. Yeah, so to see her go from never training before to, diving in head first and then going out there and winning, is pretty cool. So, and she's a blue belt now. So she's competed once as a blue belt and, found out that there's levels to this. And, they, those blue belt tournaments aren't as easy as those white belt tournaments. Cause, when you're a white belt, most people don't even know if they like jujitsu. They're just, oh, I guess, I'll try it. But, obviously the higher up you go in belt level, the more dedicated they are to training. And then when you go to a competition, they've obviously, taken training more seriously and, their technique is way better. So, she's kind of upped her game and, doesn't ever miss a day of training and, excited to see what she can do at blue belt.
Have you guys ever had the opportunity to train together in jiu-jitsu?
Man, I stay away from her, man. She's vicious. She's mean and especially mean to me. So, I don't want to be getting beat up by my old lady. So I just, shoot her to the other side of the mat.
And then finally, I know obviously the wheels are turning in that middleweight division. This weekend you got Hermanson and Strickland. Are you gonna be watching that event?
Yeah, of course. I'm a fight fan. Even when I'm not fighting, like I don't miss fights, and I watch them all the way from amateur to UFC level. So I'm a fan of the sport. I love fighting. So yeah, of
Out
course
of
I'll be
those two
watching.
guys, who do you think is gonna take that fight this weekend?
And I think Hermanson kind of, I don't know, folds to pressure, but he struggles with pressure fighters. And Sean Strickland's only going to move one way. So I'm going with Sean Strickland in this matchup.
And then I guess the last one, obviously, Izzy versus Rob's going to take place 2 weeks from now. Who do you have in that rematch between those two?
I think Adesanya gets it again. I think that he's been in there. He's felt Rob, kind of knows what he's got going on, So I think Adesanya is a number. He seems to be smarter than a lot of the other fighters, especially with fight IQ. So go with Izzy.
For sure. Well, listen, I appreciate the time today. And I wish you all the best going forward in 2022, recovering from that injury well and getting back in the win column.
Hey, appreciate it, brother. Thank you for having me.
Of course.